I kind of like that one too because from what I hear about Hack Wilson is he wasn't the tallest guy in the world either, and he was kind of a scrappy little player, so kind of biased about him a little bit.
Hack Wilson?
Hack Wilson.
He sure hacked.
Hack Wilson hacked up 191 runs batted in 1930. Why is that never going to be broken?
Hack Wilson's record of 191 RBIs in a season, I think, would be unbreakable. Nowadays, guys get 150, and that's about as many as you see, and they're still 40 short.
That's just plain and simple. No one has even come close to dominating the game the way that has.
That's awfully hard. 191 RBIs. It took me 2.5 years to do that.
191, that's more than an RBI a game. I think if you put me in high school baseball right now and played 162, I might be able to do it, but not in the big leagues, man.
Yeah, I had a year where I had 140, and it really felt like I drove in a run a day. That's what it really felt like. And to imagine that he's driving in 1.5 almost runs a day, that's incredible.
In this day and age that, the upper echelon of people might reach 150, but you start getting into that much damage that you're not going to get pitches to hit, so you're not going to have the opportunity.
They'll really start pitching around you, and you'll get it from your pitching coach, you'll get it from your manager, you'll get it from your advanced scout. Don't let that guy beat you. And invariably he won't continue to get the same pitches, he won't get the same opportunities.
I mean, that's another one of those records that will be really, really hard to reach in the course of a Major League Baseball season now.
191 RBIs, that's just, I can't see anybody doing that. You see 130, 140, you think that's outrageous. So you don't even know anybody that got close to 191 RBIs in the last 10, 15 years, do you? No, it's not going to happen.
Well, there's a lot of records that in baseball that I think are safe. Personally, I think one of the ones that are safe is Orel Hershiser's scoreless streak. I don't think that'll ever be broken again.
Orel Hershiser, and what a story this is. 49 consecutive scoreless innings, a shutout tonight, and he ties Drysdale. Let's see what happens here.
Well, unless Lasorda takes him out of the game, the fate is now in Orel's hands because the Dodgers cannot win in 9, so that means it's going to go at least 10 if he can shut him out. So it's in his hands.
And Flannery wants to turn it around. He's 1 for 3. Takes low for ball 1. Timmy does one thing so well. He makes you work. He makes you pitch. He'll get the base on balls if he can get it. He singled to center in the first, bounced to short in the third, bounced to second in the sixth. Pitch on the way to Tim. Inside, and it's 2-0. Hershiser falls behind Flannery. Here comes a big, big pitch.
Food for thought, although far-fetched. Tim Flannery's last home run came 2 years ago against Orel Hershiser.
And the 2-0 pitch on the way to Timmy. Ground ball right back to Orel. He got him. Over to first base, 1 away. Hershiser 2 outs away from tying the all-time record. Bottom of the ninth, no score in the ball game. Here's Tony Gwynn, who bounced to second 3 times. Here's Gwynn waiting, pitched by Hershiser. Curve is in there for a strike. Outfield deep to the left side, right center wide open, the infield straight away. Hamilton at third, Griffin at short, Sachs at second, Stubbs at first, Socia the catcher. Hershiser again into the windup. The 1-strike pitch. Swung on a miss. Gwynn went after a bad pitch. Strike 2. In the outfield, Kirk Gibson in left. John Shelby in center. Jose Gonzalez has replaced Mike Davis. The only change for either side in the game tonight. Gonzalez in defensively. The 2-strike pitch to Tony. Fastball. He busted that one inside. Almost hit him, and it's ball 1, strike 2. Believe me, gang, Hershiser does not want to hit Gwynn under any circumstances. That was in there tight, but that was not what he wanted to do. He just wanted to move him off a little. Didn't want to hit him. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Gwynn waiting. The pitch by Orel coming up, and there's a ground ball to second for the 4th time. Tony has bounced out to second. Wow. 2 down, bottom of the 9th inning. Hershiser 1 out away from tying Drysdale's record. 4 outs away from a new world record for consecutive scoreless innings pitched. Martinez digging in, 18 home runs, waiting. They pitch on the way to Carmelo. Ground ball third, on the line, up with it. Hamilton, long toss, and there's a tied record. Hershiser gets 58 in a row, and he's got a chance for more. after 9 full innings of play in front of 24,311. Padres nothing and the Dodgers nothing. Oral Hershiser has a piece of the record. He and Don Drysdale tied at 58 consecutive scoreless innings. So Hershiser, history coming up. Let's see if it happens. Here's Oral into the windup. The pitch on the way to Marvell. On the corner for strike one. Hershiser, if he gets through this one, 3 outs, he'll have set a new record. And Don Drysdale sitting just to our left, his record will have fallen. The 1-strike pitch. Swung on a missed strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. In the 10th inning, no score in the game. Both teams 4 hits, both teams 1 error. Hershiser literally has not been threatened in the entire game. There's a fastball up and into Marvell. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Padres are still trying to get their first man to second base. They haven't.
Hershiser has struck out only 2. He has walked none and allowed 4 hits. Hawkins has been brilliant as well. The 1-2 pitch coming up. Check swing, foul. Oh, the ball got by Scioscia on a half swing. He missed it, and down to first base goes Marvell Wynn. Holy smoke, can you believe that? Marvell Wynn struck out, and Scioscia flat missed the ball. Whether he was crossed up or not, we might have some history right there. Benito Santiago coming on. Things are getting kind of tight around here. Third strikeout for Hershiser, but it wasn't effective. There's a bunt off the bat of Benito Santiago that's fouled for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Bottom of the 10th inning. Hershiser going for the record. He needs 3 outs to set a new record. Marvell Wynn at first base. After striking out, the ball got by Scioscia. It went as a wild pitch. And suddenly, the Padres could be in business. Runner at first, nobody out. Benito Santiago waiting. Here's Hershiser, a set. Checks the runner at first. Kicks and pitches, and Benito goes for the bunt, but pulls the bat out of the way, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count. Hershiser has had a man on in the first inning when Flannery singled. Reddy got on an error in the second. A single by Wynn put him on in the 4th inning. A single by Wynn put him on in the 7th. And here in the 10th inning, the strikeout on the wild pitch gets him on there in the 10th. Alomar singled in the 8th inning with 2 down, but was picked off. So Hershiser has not had a lot of work from a standpoint of pitching with men on base. He's been in charge all night long, as has Andy Hawkins, who's trying to get the win. Hershiser sets, checks. Scioscia, ready, pitch on the way, and Benito bunts it. Up with it is Hershiser, makes the play to first, and nice play. They get the runner at first base, Benito Santiago, but down to second base with a winning run. Marvell Wynn. Here comes Randy Reddy. A wild pitch, a bunt, a runner at second, a base hit here could take the Padres to victory and deprive Hershiser of the record all by himself. But Hershiser trying to grab it right here, trying to take the bull by the horns, got Randy Reddy up there. It was safe on an error, bounced to second, bounced to short. Curveball is up and in. That was a bad pitch by Hershiser. He might be getting tired.
Now, you look at the Dodger outfield right now, they're all playing fairly shallow. They figure if Reddy drills one over their heads, fine. And don't forget, you got Fort Knox guarding home plate, Mike Scioscia.
And you mentioned earlier, Dave, they're playing for the record. They're not playing for the game. They're trying to give it to Hershiser. Here's the 1-0 pitch coming up. Reddy waits, on the way. Ground ball to the shortstop. Griffin grabs it. Play to first base, 2 down. The winning run to third base. And now Hershiser unofficially 58 2/3. Don Drysdale unofficially 58 2/3. 1 more out gives Hershiser a brand new record.
Well, Ron Peronowski has gone to the mound, and I'm sure what they're discussing, would you rather pitch to Templeton, who's the hitter, or a choice of about 8 men on the Padre bench?
So Tempe will get the walk. It is Keith Moreland coming on.
Well, you're talking about a guy who's had a reputation for being one of the best 2-out hitters in the National League in the last 10 years, going against a man who is trying to set an all-time Major League record. And boy, you talk about drama. It's gone right to the wire. And you add to that the fact that a wild pitch or a pass ball would score a run. There's a lot of pressure around, folks.
There goes Tempe as Hershiser winds, and it's in there for a strike. Hershiser obviously figures, go ahead, Steele, do all you want. I'm going after the batter. So Tempe trots down to second base. No stolen base there. Hershiser took his wind up and let him go. Man, oh man, oh man. 10th inning. Hershiser wants it bad. Padres want to win the ball game. The one strike pitch to Moreland. On the corner, strike 2. Woo! No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Hershiser now, even he feels the pressure. You can see it. He's walking around after every pitch, digging at the rubber, kicking the rubber, looking around. Ready to go now. Looks at Scioscia. Checks his outfield again. Outfield to the left side. Infield straight away. Moreland waiting. Here comes a major, major pitch of the night, of the year, maybe of this century. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Hershiser ready. Into the windup. Moreland waits. Pitch on the way. Foul back. Had a good cut at that one, too. No balls, 2 strikes. That's the first time Moreland went for it, and he had a good cut at it. Fouled it all away, but it was fouled back for strike 2.
One of the questions you wonder about here, he's gone with 3 consecutive fastballs to Moreland. Would he throw the breaking ball and risk throwing one in the dirt? Only Hershiser can answer that.
I think right now Orel Hershiser is looking up at stairs and saying, look it, you guide me. I don't know what to do. It gets to the point in these situations where it is so tense and so dramatic, it's hard to say, what'll I do? Because you're afraid if you do that, it could be wrong. So the best thing to do is just put your hands on the guy above and let her go. Here's Moreland waiting. Runners moving off second and third. Hershiser delivers, and just off the corner by an eyelash. I don't know how Keith took that pitch. A ball and 2 strikes.
No argument from Scioscia or Hershiser. The ball was clearly off the edge.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. 2 out. Bottom of the 10th. Game winner down at third base in the person of Marvell Wynn. Hershiser winds again. The right hand of the 1-2 pitch, and there's a drive to right field. He's going to put it away. Gonzalez is under it, and Hershiser sets a new all-time consecutive scoreless innings pitch record at 59. Oh, doctor, I mean, that is something. Man, I man. History was born right here at San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium. The crowd is coming off the field to the cameraman. There must be 20 of them out there, all taking Hershiser's picture. Dramatic bit of baseball right here at the stadium as Hershiser sets a new record of 59 consecutive scoreless innings, 6 shutouts, and a 10-inning job.
My fondest memory about the streak is that it happened during a championship year. I mean, it's one thing to do something on an individual basis, but it's another thing when it contributes to a world championship. So at times there was more pressure to win the games for the team than there was to throw a shutout for this record. And having Don alive as a broadcaster there during the whole time was very, very special. He was one of the guys that really baseball players respected, and when you think about your past and you think about growing up a Dodger and you think about, you know, who are the people you would want to emulate on the mound, the presence and getting people out, to even come close to his record would have been unbelievable.
I'll say Fernando Tatis, 2 grand slams in the same inning against the same pitcher. In order for you to break it, you have to be lucky. To face the same pitcher in the same game, in the same inning, and hit 3 grand slams, that's a tough one.
Power against power here. With the bases loaded, no one out, 2-0 the count. Fastball, and it's a grand slam. Woo! We see who parred that one. A grand slam home run, and the Cardinals lead it 4-2.
That went over the bullpen. That went over the back wall of the bullpen.
No, I don't think it went that far. Did it, Joe?
It disappeared behind the wall.
Woo, there wasn't any doubt about that.
Did you hear how quiet this place got?
Oh, yeah, they just... Wow.
That was smoked.
Woo. I mean, it went a long way. Ever seen a man hit 2 grand slams in one game, in one inning.
I can't say that I have. Have you?
No. Come on, Fernando, do it so we can have everybody scrambling and going through the record books out here. Bases loaded, 2 down. Cardinals leading 7-2. They've scored all 7 runs in this inning. The pitch to Fernando. It's a breaking pitch, a strike at the knee. Tatis now tied for the home run lead on the team with McGuire with 5. He leads the club in RBIs with 15, and he could make it 8 RBIs here in this one inning. The pitch to him. Outside and low. Boy, he's seeing the ball well. Every time that ball goes low and away, he stops. Chan-Ho Park. I wonder how many pitches he's thrown in this inning, Joe. 50?
It's been forever.
2-1 delivery. Tatis takes it outside and low again, and it's ball 3. I'd take a walk here.
Yeah, and if you get a walk here, you're going to watch Chan-Ho Park walk out of this game with the lefty Perez ready and Drew, the left-handed swinging outfielder, on deck.
This is his last man for this inning anyway. 3-1 pitch. Fernando Tatis with the bases loaded. Strike outside corner. Good pitch. He took a little off. And now the Cardinal runners are off to the races. Tatis could make it an 11-run inning here in the 3rd. Cardinals have already scored 7. And the pitch, the runners go 3-2 Tatis. Swing and a long one. There it is, folks. Baseball history. A second Grand Slam home run for Fernando Tatis in the 3rd inning in Los Angeles, California. And the Cardinals lead it 11-2. Wow. Wow. Get those record books out, folks. We've just seen Fernando Tatis hit 2 Grand Slam home runs off of Chan-Ho Park in the 3rd inning. Wow.
That's what the scoreboard here at Dodger Stadium just said. Wow.
Is that right?
Here in L.A., the scoreboard just said, wow.
Everybody just jump around. My heart just going boom, boom, you know. I just so scared, you know, because I never did it before, and everybody just happy, and it's great. It's unbelievable.
Well, I just think you can't help but be just awestruck by something that's done for the first time in Major League Baseball. Been playing for 100 years. I mean, I don't care what it is. If somebody did it for the first time, you'd say, holy smokes, look what I just saw, to quote Jack Buck. And for it to be something like a Grand Slam twice, and I think against a pitcher the caliber of Chan-Ho Park, it was incredible. And I know our dugout just exploded.
How about some no-hit games this year, Johnny? Well, I don't say I'm going to throw any, but I sure would like to.
Like any young pitcher, Johnny Vandermeer would never be foolish enough to promise a no-hitter. It is, after all, one of the most difficult feats in all of sports.
I think it's impossible to go through 9 innings, 27 outs, with 9 minimum major league hitters, and not one of them get a hit.
It's something that you dream about, and at this level, you realize how difficult it is.
It's really almost impossible when you think about what can happen.
You know, you're facing major league hitters, and when you don't give up a hit against a major league team in 9 innings, that's quite a feat.
Some of the greatest pitchers in baseball have not pitched no-hitters. Lefty Grove, Robin Roberts, Early Wynn, Steve Carlton, Whitey Ford, Dizzy Dean, all members of the Hall of Fame, did not pitch no-hitters.
The Hall of Fame was far from Johnny's mind in the late 1930s. He was content to practice his control in the off-season, throwing snowballs through tires.
John was, at that time, he was at his peak. And he had it all. He had a good curveball, good fastball, good change, and good competitor.
I knew Johnny Vandermeer. I saw him pitch several times, and he worked so hard at pitching. And Johnny didn't have the greatest control.
He was quite often wild, and that made him tough to hit. On June 11th, 1938, the Boston Braves, known at the time as the Bees, found out just how tough he could be.
Well, that game was played on a Saturday afternoon. It was hot, and it was one of the few days that I was throwing the ball exactly where I wanted to throw it all day.
So precise was his control, Johnny simply focused on the game, until, that is, he reached the final frame.
I didn't go for a no-hitter till the last inning. Then I went for it.
And I said, I've got 30 good pumps in me, boy, and they're going to get my 30 best shots. And that's the way I wanted to go out. And I was fortunate enough I got by.
In just his second Major League season, Johnny Vandermeer threw 9 innings of no-hit baseball, and in the process, achieved pitching immortality.
What we see is that at any given time, lightning can strike and a guy can live forever.
But how often does someone catch lightning in a bottle twice? Just 4 days apart?
.1938 and 35,000 fans crowd Ebbets Field for the first night game in metropolitan New York's history. And what a historic game it turns out to be.
An amazing bit of history witnessed by more Brooklyn fans than expected, thanks to GM Larry McPhail's overzealous promotion.
McPhail kept selling tickets, and he didn't stop. And the fire department came in because he had them sitting in the aisles and you name it. I got to warm up 3 times, and I had to sit down 3 times before the fire department cleaned out the aisles and so forth.
No pitcher likes to warm up more than once before the start of the game. Vandermeer just kind of hung in there, and turned out that he had a lot left in that arm.
I was busting the ball real good. I'd probably thrown the ball 95, 96, 97 miles an hour. Something happened in that ballpark in Brooklyn that night, probably never happened before. From the 7th inning on, the Brooklyn fans were pulling for me. Now, in Brooklyn, they don't do that. And when I started the 9th inning, they were really pulling for me.
Going into the 9th inning, the Dodgers were hitless. Never before had a major league pitcher tossed 2 consecutive no-hitters.
I got the first hitter out.
And then I started to overthrow. I was trying to throw harder than I could throw, and that's when I worked the bases full.
The tension was electrifying.
Then, of course, on the last hitter was Leo DeRocher. He popped out for the last out.
The planets came into alignment, in that 1 week, and he did it, and nobody else has done it since.
If I knew the fact that it had never been done before, that might have threw some more heat on me. But I wasn't aware of that.
So was Johnny up for 3 in a row? Not quite. But it wasn't until the 4th inning of his next game that he finally allowed a hit.
I went to Boston and shut out the Braves on 4 hits. At that time, there was some pressure then. There was more pressure on me in the 3rd game than there was in the 2nd game by far.
It was just part of a 9-game winning streak for Johnny. And of course, it was the highlight of an up-and-down career.
The following year, I came up with a sore arm, and I was out 1.5 years. And then I only came back for a year, and then I put 3 in the Navy.
Johnny Vandermeer never did make the Hall of Fame, but the Dutch master will always stand alone.
You know the record will never be broken? Johnny Vandermeer's 2 no-hitters in a row. Because you got to pitch 3. No one's going to pitch 3 no-hitters in a row. I don't care who he is.